The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. I'm a dreamer, and I've grown tired of allowing my dreams to take backseat to other people's ambitions.
Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living."
I've always been a dreamer, a creative, an artist. These things are ingrained into every single fabric of my being. I grew up writing my own stories, performing for my family, dancing in talent shows, performing in theater. I've always loved the arts. I remember getting picked on for it, even with like little offhanded comments and just picking. Somewhere between elementary and high school, I feel like I lost a lot of confidence and a little bit of the spark that made me Allure. Hello, my lovelies. My name's Allure. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is the very first episode of me documenting my progress with the artist's way. Hello, my lovelies. Come on in. Why I decided to start the artist's way. Well, when all that was happening, I fell victim to fear. And it's funny because I didn't realize how long I had been operating in that emotion until recently, like very recently. And I'm 23 now. And I feel like it started when I was really young. It was the fear of failure at first. Scared to let everyone around me down. Scared that I would fly too close to the sun and everyone would point and laugh as I fell.
If you don't fail, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying.
I left high school, went to college, and majored in something respectable. I chose information systems, the perfect blend of business and technology, a degree that would make me money. And I watched in all my extracurricular classes as the painting majors were getting commissioned by the school for homecoming pieces, or they were getting picked out by Dean Felicia Rashad to go to Art Basel and represent the school. I watched in my acting classes as my peers got their agents, or they got a paid theater gig, or they got their first co-stars. Slowly, my heart began, once again, yearning for more.
You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. The point is, every graduate here today has the training and the talent to succeed. But do you have the guts to fail?
So I started creating again. Painting, acting, writing, dancing, and it started going well. A little too well. I was selling my artwork as a vendor at school events. I was doing pitch competitions. I was in business programs and getting funding for my business. I was acting in short films. I got paid to act. I was writing poetry and stories. I was modeling for a Black History Month dance photo shoot. I was teaching dance. I was choreographing national level routines. I was on 2 dance teams, performing with them. I was doing every single thing I ever wanted and then some more. Then I fell victim to an even more disorienting fear. The fear of success. What first began as me feeling like I'd fail turned into me feeling like I was going to be seen as an imposter. Like I was tricking everyone around me into thinking I was good at stuff when I really wasn't. Then self-sabotage decided to join the party because despite every single piece of evidence, every success, everything saying I could, I was still scared. Scared of change, scared of how my life would be different if I were to succeed and make it all the way. Scared that if I did make it to the top, that people were going to find me out and see that I was an imposter, that I really don't deserve to be there or have the things that I have. And no amount of me working or doing these things was fixing this mindset and this fear that I had. And I graduated 2024, still working, still doing things that I loved, still creating, but not fully embodying being an artist. But I graduated, I left school, came back home, and I subconsciously pushed my dreams to the side. Because for some reason in my brain, despite seeing everyone else do it, despite knowing that it was possible, I still had this idea that artists don't make money. So I worked my boring corporate job. I did my boring corporate program. with a smile on my face, and I really tried to make myself like it. I really tried. Being a first-generation college student, I felt like there was even less room to fail than somebody else might have. I'm supposed to be on the right path, and I'm the first to journey this path, so I'm supposed to be the example, the one who did life right. I still taught dance because I loved to dance, and people were relying on me to do it. But during the time between graduating and now, I don't think I really danced for myself often. I didn't do other things for myself either. My painting and writing and acting resume have a big gap in it. I wasn't creating. I couldn't bring myself to create. Because at the time, both failing and succeeding at either one felt the same way. Like I was doing something I wasn't supposed to do. And it felt like the dream was unrealistic, even though I knew it wasn't. Like in my heart, I knew it wasn't.
To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
But this year, 2026, I've been working on my mindset for a while now. But this year, 2026, I really decided that I can't do that anymore. I can't act like my heart is somewhere where it's not. And I can't act like I'm enjoying something when I don't. If being comfortable means feeling miserable, means that I'm going to my deathbed with regrets or unfulfilled dreams, then maybe I don't want to be comfortable.
Imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential, the ghost of the ideas you never acted on, the ghost of the talents you didn't use, and they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes?
So that's why I decided to start The Artist's Way. I recently blew up my life, and now I'm on this journey to fully becoming myself and to be seen and really become an artist.
Because the chances you take, the people you meet, the people you love, the faith that you have, that's what's going to define you.
The Artist's Way, as described in the book, in essence, a spiritual path initiated and practiced through creativity. And I'm pretty okay at creativity. You gotta get that mindset together though, and I think this will help. Author Julia Cameron details different goals each week or focuses, and then there's also 2 must-dos throughout the 12 weeks, different tasks each week you can pick through and figure out what you want to do, all with the goal of helping you become your greatest creative self. Cameron lays out many intentional and inspirational quotes throughout the book, but this is one of my favorites. And you'll hear lots of them throughout this, because I like lots of them. In a sense, as we are creative beings, our lives become works of art. I've really been going on walks and trying to appreciate nature and stuff, and life really is very artistic. And the idea that creativity is running through the universe, our veins, is so real, because even the way the birds sing, like the melodies they sing, the way leaves and flowers are formed, everything is very artistic. And I'm growing to appreciate it more and more as I go through each day. But as I've continued to grow and really come into myself this past year or so, one of the books I've read was The Alchemist. And although it's oftentimes regarded in like a meh fashion, because a lot of people, it's very plain language, it's simple, it's not a difficult book to read, children could read it. I think a lot of people feel they're above it. I don't think it's a terrible book. I don't think it's the best book I've ever read, but it has important values and morals that I think came to me at the right time when I needed to hear it. And the book really allowed me to reflect on and realize the fear that I was carrying with me through my day-to-day. I brought up this book because I think The Artist's Way and The Alchemist have a bit in common in terms of mindset and how to approach life. And these 2 quotes stood out to me because they complement each other from both books. The first one from The Alchemist: when you want something, the entire universe conspires to help you achieve it. And then from The Artist's Way: synchronicity. We change and the universe furthers and expands that change. Because I fully, especially now, believe that if you set your mind to something, the universe is going to start opening doors and giving you opportunities. There will be setbacks, there will be challenges placed in your way, but I think if you're able to weather through the storm, you truly, truly can get what you want. But I think a lot of people, including myself, tend to stop at the challenge part. Like once it gets hard, that's where people drop off, and I don't want to drop off anymore. I want to weather through it. My goal is to weather through the storm and get to the sunshine. Sorry, there's like a fruit fly in here. Sorry about that. The Artist's Way Week 1 is about recovering a sense of safety. There's a whole intro to the book and all that. There's a lot of important stuff there too. This is my second or third time actually doing this challenge, or attempting to do it. I didn't last the full week ever. And I'm past the full week now, so progress. And we're going to get to the whole 12 weeks. I'm feeling very motivated, I have a lot of free time right now. But yeah, by the time you're watching this, I'm probably successfully on week 3. Consistency has been my biggest hurdle as an individual, not because of a lack of motivation, but because I get stuck in the planning phase or the dreaming phase, and I'm really trying to get consistent at just doing it, going for it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I've been working on that. This time I'm a bit more enthusiastic about writing and the entire process. At first, I was not happy to be journaling. I hated writing, or at least doing this type of writing. But I've had a mindset shift. Like the first time attempting this, if I missed a day, or if I missed something or messed something up, I was like, okay, I quit. I'm not doing the rest of it, or I failed it. I can't finish because I messed up. But this time, like if I miss a day or I mess up something, I'm gonna just make it up, figure it out, and keep moving. Like, instead of crashing out, I'm much better at regulating my emotions. And I've been doing better, even in my personal life, getting over minor challenges. Like learning that just because one thing's bad or something bad happened in a day, that doesn't make it a bad day. So I started week 1 of the Artist's Way very positively, knowing that it's the first week and it takes a while to build habits. So I did mess up in week 1 and I kept going. That's that. But I do like this book because it's like a guideline. There's strict things that you need to do, the 2 tasks, but it's not like you have to do everything in a specific way. Like there's even room for creativity and growth and mistakes and failures and successes in the morning pages or in other stuff. But the 2 must-dos in this book are the morning pages and the artist dates. You cannot go without them at all during the 12 weeks. Morning pages are 3 stream of consciousness pages every morning. These can't be shared, so I will not be discussing them in the video, and they're sacred, so. But yeah, you can just write whatever. You just better fill up them 3 pages. It doesn't matter how you do it. When I first tried the challenge, this is where I was writing my morning pages, so I just continued to use this notebook. I keep it right beside my bed so I don't forget, and I detail like the dates, times, week we're on. I really try to talk about like my plans for the day, what I did the day before, maybe something I'm feeling good about, something I'm feeling a little weary about. It's really just a place for me to be vulnerable and leave all my thoughts or whatever is racing my brain. I think that's a large problem of mine as well. My brain doesn't stop. Like it goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. So yeah. The artist date is a solo date you take yourself on. It doesn't have to be strictly artistic. You can go to the beach, a junk store, go shopping, whatever it is you want to do. But you have to go alone. And it's basically to experience things and to take care of yourself, to pour back into yourself and fill up your cup so you're able to move through life and do things creatively when you want to. I enjoy the artist dates, and it really forces introspection, and that time alone, like you really gonna be talking to yourself a lot. Week 1 discusses shadow artists, which are like artists stuck with dreaming and fear instead of doing, which is basically how I was for a while, how I am a little bit right now. This quote from the book really shook me up. So I was like, oh, that is so true. That is so true. Actually, let me find it. Very often, audacity, not talent, makes one person an artist and another a shadow artist. And I'm stuck in shadow artist. I am kind of. I'm moving out of shadow artist. That's what we're doing. And to combat this, I have to fight my negative beliefs and my inner bully and enemy. So that's what we did week 1. I think that's really a big problem for me. I have an amazing supportive friend group, family, line sisters. Everyone in my life is very supportive of me. So it's not like there's anybody currently, at least, who's poured into a negative sense of self. However, I do feel like on one hand, it's nice having a supportive, well, no, on every hand, it's nice having supportive people around me, but it makes it even more harder when people are like rooting for you. It just adds on to the fear of failure. But I also think that I've been afraid of like vulnerability and addressing things in my past that have affected how I am today. Like I've dealt with anxiety and depression because of maybe how I was perceived by other people, or just things that were said to me or about me, or just whatever was going on in my life at the time. And I still struggle with those things sometimes, but it's been really hard to not address those things, or I think not addressing those things when they were happening when I was growing up impacted how I am today and how I operate. And so therefore I have to get over it. I have to get over those things. And also because of that, even though I think like being picked on or people saying mean things about me stopped impacting me, like I still think in my head, because I was being a perfectionist, or I didn't want people to say things about me that were mean, I was picking on myself and bullying myself, and I was my own worst enemy for a while. But I completed week 1 of the Artist's Way, and here is my reflection. The first question for the reflection is, how many days this week did you do your morning pages? It says 7 out of 7, we always hope. How was the experience for you? Okay, so I completed 6 out of 7 days. Don't bite me, don't bite me, don't bite me. I said bite and fight. Ooh. Not even trying to make excuses, but it was a busy week last week, and I still feel like I did pretty good. I know I did pretty good. Like, messing up one day is nothing to the world. But I missed Saturday because it was so busy. I was trying to prepare for things, get things ready. I was helping my cousin set up a graduation stuff. We had practice. It was just a lot going on. So I missed it. But because of that, I wrote 6 pages on Sunday, and I feel like that absolves me of any missed pages because I still did it. I also found that on the weekend, because I have stuff in the morning, like early in the morning, that I have to like physically go to, I skipped the morning pages, or like I did them a little later in the day. Well, the Sunday ones I did later in the day. So I'm trying to be better about that. But yeah, it's hard. Like if you already have to wake up early, it's hard to wake up even earlier, but I can do it. I still did the pages, so that's what matters at the end of the day, in my opinion. But I did realize that about myself. Like I have to really, really, really work hard to stick to the plan. Because like my first thought in the morning isn't to journal yet. It's to go do what I'm supposed to do for the day. Or my mind's racing, or I need to check whatever it is. But the experience actually writing wasn't bad. I thought I was going to struggle with the actual writing part, because the first time I did this, I was not happy about that at all. It was like a chore. But this time I was honestly excited to try, and I think it's because I came in a little bit more open-minded. My mindset has shifted a bit this past year. Maybe it's my frontal lobe starting to form, who knows. But I came in a little bit more enthusiastic about it, and I had a lot more to write about than I actually thought before, so it was great. Some days I was a little bit more enthusiastic than others. Some days I started them way earlier than others. I think I averaged getting them done, well, I think for the most part I did them around 7:30, 8 a.m. But the days where I was late, it ended up being like 10, 11, maybe even 12 one day. I don't know, it was like split half and half, where I did them super early and then super late. Sorry, the sun's going down a little bit. You guys will be okay. I do think that the earlier I got them, the more ready for my day I felt, because I was awake. Like they woke me up. The pages woke me up. Writing them woke me up. And it also stopped my mind from racing. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'll get on my phone, or I'll lay in my bed and my mind's just racing. I'm just thinking about everything that I have to do, and it kind of like paralyzes you. So I really think that helped a bit. But the days where I did them later, it didn't help as much, because I had already started thinking, and that's the no part. The tasks that I completed: 1, I went walking quite a bit. I have my neighborhood's like a circle, so I went walking around the neighborhood, and I actually did it without headphones or anything to distract me, which I thought was very calming, because first of all, like I always have my headphones on. I go to the store with my headphones on. I go everywhere with my headphones on. But it really made me stop and listen to the sounds of life, the sounds of nature. I heard an owl in my neighborhood. I would hear the birds chirping, the wind blowing, the leaves moving with the wind. There's just so much to hear and so much to see that you don't realize, I guess, when you're locked in with music or on your phone. And I think it's been good for my mental health, but also my physical health. I felt a lot better, and also that helps me to clear my mind as well. So I think that being a task was great, and I'm still walking. I plan to keep walking. I need to do it more outside. I do it a lot on the treadmill, I think. But that was a really nice task. I think that was my favorite of the week. I also did affirmations, blurts, and conversions. So wrote an affirmation a bunch of times. I said it out loud. I practiced saying it in the mirror. And I think affirmations are great because now when I'm thinking something negative, I am like subconsciously being like, nope, like you're beautiful, you're whatever. So that's been great. That's been happening a little bit more. Blurts are things that you say negatively about yourself, like subconsciously or in your brain, without even realizing it. If you're like looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, that's a blurt. But conversion, which is something I do, like when I was writing the affirmations or saying them to myself, all the blurts that came in my head, I would put them down on the paper, and then I would write a conversion or like a way to turn that into something positive. So if I said I'm ugly, I'm beautiful, I'm worthy of love, whatever. So I did that a lot throughout the week. I think for me, my biggest blurts are like feeling doubt about my skills and my talent. If I'm painting, it's like, ooh, am I really good at painting? Or this does not look good, whatever it is. So converting that into maybe it's just the beginning stages and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be whatever. Like stuff like that has been helpful. I also wrote a letter to myself, like a happy piece of encouragement to hype myself up, basically. I really like that. I did that as a part of one of my journaling for the morning, because if I couldn't think of something to journal about, I would use the tasks as a guide. I also listed 3 enemies of my creative self, and for that one, I put when I used to get made fun of when I was younger, people who have treated me like outcast or weird or other than, and just stuff like that. I don't have like a specific person or specific people, because it's never been like relentless bullying where I'm like targeted over and over again. It's always been like little comments and offhanded stuff from different people, which still hurts because even the little stuff can stick with you. And then 5 lives I'd want to live. I chose things other than the stuff that I was doing, but now that I'm thinking back, I should have put like an artist, an actress, and things that I want to be. But like in my head too, if I'm trying to manifest something or I'm trying to bring something to life, like I need to live like I'm already doing that or I'm already that. And I already am an artist, I'm already an actress, I'm already a dancer. Like I've done all those things before. So I am those things and I can keep doing those things. So I didn't want to put that as my 5 lives. I think I put like a gamer. I can read what I put. Okay, this is technically in the book, but I'm gonna also like still read it because it's part of the tasks. It's not part of my like personal journaling. Okay, I said a gaming YouTuber, which also is something I could technically do, but like it's not a big gigantic dream of mine. It's like that'd be fun. An IRL streamer. I think streaming seems so like fun to be able to have people to interact with whenever you want. Like I guess I have my friends and stuff, but like I don't know. Streaming seems fun. I don't know. 3, a professional volleyball player. I didn't start liking volleyball until college, and I wish I started it sooner because I think I would have really enjoyed volleyball. 4, a rich housewife, because like, yeah, with a nice husband, somebody who's not crazy or weird. And then a fashion designer. When I was younger, I remember in the gifted program, I would always like be sewing my own like bags or clothing or whatever. But I think one of these weeks I'm gonna try one of these things out. Like I've streamed before, but I've never done IRL. And like gaming, I always record my gameplay, but I never post. I just need to post. Like I said at the beginning, audacity. That's what I need to take away from week 1, and that's what I think I'm taking away. My artist dates. Okay, I'm excited about these. I like artist dates. I like them. This was actually my favorite part of the entire challenge so far. The question is, did you do your artist dates this week? Yes, of course, we always hope, and artist dates can be remarkably difficult to allow yourself. What did you do? How did it feel? I did my artist dates. I actually did 2 dates. First one, I went to the park by myself and I set up a picnic blanket. I had some food and I painted. And then also I went on a little like side quest too. The second one I went on, my child had a artist festival, and I went to that and it was super fun. So I loved my artist dates. I felt very relieved, very happy, very, I don't know, I really loved it. I felt so at peace. I felt calm. And I also felt like I was like reconnecting with my old self and doing things that I used to love. I've never done really hard drugs, but I assume like that high you get, it felt like that high without needing any supplements. I think it was fairly easy. I understand why they say this might be the hardest part, but I'm alone by myself for a lot of the time. I moved back home after college and I don't really have friends here, so I do everything by myself. I mean, even when I was with my friends in college, like a lot of the stuff I like to do now, other people don't like to do. So I would go to classes by myself. I would go to workshops by myself, events by myself, whatever I had to do alone. Like if I wanted to do it, I would do it. But yeah, I had a blast. I'm gonna actually post a vlog with my artist date stuff. You guys can watch that. And then 3, were there any other issues this week that you consider significant for your recovery? Describe them. I think the biggest things have been discovering and confronting feelings I had about myself that maybe I knew subconsciously but never really thought about, like long-term, or things that have affected my life. I had a lot of doubt and fear, and I really struggle with making decisions and change. And I also struggle with vulnerability, even with myself. Like sometimes writing in the journals, I was like, this is low-key corny, and like, why are you thinking like that? It's a journal. I can write whatever I want. It can be corny if I want. It can be goofy, silly, whatever I want. Like, this is for me. Why are you feeling embarrassed or like weird about being vulnerable or writing your feelings? Especially when nobody else is gonna read it. Like, come on, girl. Okay, but I was mean to myself a little just now. I understand why I feel that way, but like, I gotta get over it. And then also just like not realizing how much stuff from the past, like middle school or elementary school or whatever, have affected my life, or like things I remember. Like, why do I remember that? But I do. I think I'm really learning to be kinder to myself and to let myself fail and breathe, and giving myself grace, and just how to be vulnerable. I'm also letting go of perfectionism when I'm writing, when I'm doing my artist dates. If stuff don't go right, it just doesn't go right, and that's okay. It's just life. Like, the reflections are hard to write as naturally and vulnerable as possible because I'm a perfectionist. Like, I want to, even though it's just to me and the universe, I don't want to seem corny or silly or weird. So I'm learning how to, in my day-to-day, create or exist without bullying myself, without being a perfectionist and overstimulating myself. And then I realized that I also often let perfectionism stop me from completing or starting things. Like, that's a lot of the reason why I stay stuck in the planning phase, is because I'm being a perfectionist and I need everything to be right. But not everything needs to be right to start. You just have to start. Like, I can do it bad, I can do it scared, I can do it poorly, and that's okay, because I'm doing more than I would have if I'm just planning. Because like, people every day get opportunities, they move on, they continue to grow because they're doing it. But if I'm not doing anything, I can't expect myself to grow, and that's something I'm really learning. For example, when I did my artist date at the park, there were ants everywhere. I was struggling because like my stuff kept falling over. I spilled my water all over myself. I got my shorts wet. And at that moment, I had to make the decision, do I pack up and just go home? There was a farmer's market happening across the street. I wanted to go to that, but my pants are all wet. I'm looking crazy. But I kept painting, finished what I wanted to finish, let my pants dry, dabbed them, whatever. And I went to the farmer's market and enjoyed myself. And I got some bomb raspberry jam that I'm still eating to this day. I had 2 slices of toast with it today. So yeah, I'm just learning to let go, learning to live. I'm living. But I will say, after the artist date, I did come home and look at the painting, and I was a little unhappy with how the hair looked. And instead of continuing to work on it, I just looked at it and got a little upset, honestly. And I haven't touched it since. So I need to keep working on it. But it's a process. I'm not going to just jump from being a perfectionist to whatever the opposite is. And then also, finally, I kind of talked about it when I was talking about walking, but I'm a lot more observant, or I'm trying to be a lot more observant now. Just doing the walks and existing and doing this insight into myself has really shown me what I need to work on. And it's also shown me the different ways the world and the universe are working in my favor, or things I'm struggling with. And I'm just noticing more about nature, more about what's going on in my life, more about what I'm seeing, how I'm visualizing things. My goals are a little bit more clearer. what I'm doing is a little bit easier because I'm not going into it with preconceived notions. I'm just living and taking it day by day, second by second. And I'm feeling good for the coming weeks. And hopefully by the end of this, I'm transformed. I'm not expecting to be an entirely new person or to be famous or to be, I don't know, whatever. At the end of this, I'm just expecting to hopefully have started shifting my mindset a little bit more and to really be living and be in the moment and to just enjoy life. Because like I said earlier, I don't want to spend my life thinking about the future or thinking about the past or what I could have done or what I should have done or what I want to do. I want to be doing. And so I will. But yeah, that's my reflection for the Artist Way Week 1. I hope to hear about your journey. Are you doing the Artist Way? How's it going for you? Will you try to do it? I think you should. I think everybody can benefit from this. And yeah, keep me updated on your progress and I'll keep you updated on mine. Hope you come along on the journey with me. Hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.